And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When two parties cannot solve a dispute, Community Court is there to solve the problem. All right, everyone, all right, all rise for Honorable William Law, your Honorable Judge for today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, welcome to my courtroom. You're very honored to be in front of this honor, Your Honor. I've been working on a little lead-in stand-up sit-down humor, if you know what I mean.
It was a good one, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Bailiff. Because you all can't sit till I sit. I kind of like that. It's like kind of like the cakewalk that ends when I end it. I'm not a control freak. My wife talks about that sometimes. And I'm not, honestly. That's why I didn't go into the law. All right, enough of my jibber-jabber, flip-flop, and flammarama. I got a docket in front of me today that's, well, I'll tell you, I haven't seen nothing like this in about, well, never actually. All right. Our plaintiff today, ladies and gentlemen, in the courtroom is Jose Jetta. That's a mouthful of corn snacks, I'll tell you. Jose Jedediah Jerusalem. I got that out on the second try. Now, he's an Armageddon enthusiast. And he's filed a lawsuit against the National Weather Service for climate change not coming too fast. Wow. Well, here representing the National Weather Service is Janice Mercury. First, I'm going to start with you, Mr. Jerusalem, and why don't you tell me your side of the story, sir?
Oh, yeah, well, I'll tell you, Your Honor. You see, me and my fellow Armageddon enthusiasts, well, we pride ourselves on being prepared for the inevitable Armageddon, which is certainly coming. So, well, I spent a couple $100,000 creating my own fallout shelter on my 1,500 acres of land. And it's a doozy of a fallout shelter, Your Honor. And, well, I've been sitting on this fallout shelter for, I believe like 6 years now. You know, I was waiting for the Mayans, said that, the end would come. I've been waiting on the weather to get warmer and warmer, but waiting for a jungle to sprout right up. But nothing's coming. Nothing's coming. So I want that climate change here now, Your Honor.
All right, I need to circle back here. Yeah, I felt like I was on a merry-go-round there for a second. I want to ask you, sir, what climate change are you hoping for?
Like hellfire from the skies, a frogs, locusts, plague sort of thing.
All right, hellfire from the sky, locusts, plagues, right. Anything else you want to go with that, like a side of bacon?
Well, I can tell you I've had tons of bacon bits and baked beans in my cellar. That's all I've been eating for the past 5 years. I'm really starting to get a bit sick of it. So I'd like it to come now.
And how about like raining cats and dogs, like some little droplets with puppies and kittens in them too?
Oh, the more cats and dogs, the better, Your Honor.
I'm mocking you, sir.
Oh.
All right. Well, that's your side of the story. I want to touch base. Well, let me read here on the. Okay, so you're suing also for $2.5 million. So please explain that before I go to your defendant.
$2.5 billion. That'll buy
million, sir. That was not billion. Don't try to upgrade this lawsuit.
Well, if we could just change it to billion. Man, sit down.
Thank you, bailiff. Get control of yourself, Mr. Jerusalem. It's $2.5 million. I have the docket right in front of my face.
Yes, million. My apologies. $2.5 million. That would buy us an awful lot of aerosol cans of hairspray. If we spray that up into the atmosphere, that ozone layer, it's going away, Your Honor.
All right, so you want to buy hairspray with $2.5 million. All right, I'm going to have to shift gears here. Miss Janice Mercury, how do you respond to this lawsuit, man?
Well, honestly, Judge, I am real confused. I mean, again, at the National Weather Service, we can report on the weather, right? However, we cannot incite the weather, a common misperception that many people have. However, I appreciate Mr. Jose's, investment in his future survival. But again, I'm afraid there's just not a darn thing that we can do at the National Weather Service to increase climate change.
All right. Well, I have a secret document here that says only to open during the proceedings, so I'm going to rip that open right now. And Well. Looks like the National Weather Service has a top secret product in R&D, ma'am. Could you explain that?
Judge,
The weather machine.
Judge, no, I know. A weather mission.
It says it's a weather changer machine.
A weather change machine. Oh, Judge, if only we had a weather change machine that I was aware of.
It says patent pending. ma'am.
Well, Judge, I do apologize. This was something that my coworkers were working on, and
Authored by June Smith, Janice Mercury,
Well,
and Bill Wendelson.
I knew it.
it's Mercury with a U. Mercury. I just want to be very clear that, again, if we have the power, then we will use the power.
Right.
And- We're on your side.
I know. Now tell me how this machine works.
Well,
Won't leave this courtroom.
basically, we've found a way to take the ions and the freons and the eons and the eminons and combine them in the Ammonator is what it's called. The Ammonator is able to create any kind of weather pattern, both destructive as well as non-destructive weather.
So the technology is there. And I heard you say it runs on M&Ms?
No, ions,
Almanons.
and ions
All
and dions and
I got to adjust my hearing aid a little bit. All right, sir. Mr. Jerusalem, how do you respond to that?
Well, I respond exactly as you've heard, Your Honor. The Weather Service has made a machine to control the weather. They are the ones preventing the Armageddon. They are the ones that are shutting down our climate change.
Judge, I don't mean to interrupt, but I am just failing to see how that's a bad thing.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen of the courtroom and our plaintiff and defendant, Armageddon is supposed to be the end of the world, and you both swore in on a Bible where it talks about the potentiality of Armageddon in Glugenstein chapters 14 through 27. Now,
Yes.
please respond to that, both of you, and we'll start with you, Ms. Mercury.
Well, I do. Of course, Armageddon is to be a joyous time in our planet, not a time of sadness. And I want to embrace Armageddon when the time is here. I don't want to create it, though. You see, we're not in that business at the National
I
Weather
understand
Service.
that.
You understand?
You're not playing God or
No,
Mother Nature.
no.
I understand.
Thank you,
I
Judge.
understand.
Thank you.
So I guess that's why the weather machine is top secret. All right, Mr. Jerusalem, sir, please respond.
Your Honor, I'm getting a message from God right now as
Oh,
we stand
Jesus
here
Christ.
in this courtroom. Listen to me.
Sir, you need to channel your God in about 15 seconds. I'm gonna
Our
cut you off.
Lord is saying that if we prevent his Armageddon, there will be mayhem. Mayhem beyond the Armageddon.
I mean, why is he the only one getting the message, Judge?
And what message are you getting, Ms. Mercury?
I'm getting a message that we're being unfairly treated here.
And who's the message? Is this from Mary?
It's from my own brain.
All right. Well, what part of your brain is it? The right hemisphere, the left hemisphere, the frontal lobe?
I'm not a neurosurgeon.
I went into neurosurgery and then I went into the law. So please tell me, is it your basal ganglia?
Sir,
Is it your blood-brain barrier?
I
Is it your synapses?
I am an ions and freons and entrons and mumons, and I have no place for.
I understand. All right. The plaintiff's approaching the desk with a file that I have not read yet. All right. Okay. Let me just sift through these papers here. All right. Well, this is interesting. Mr. Jerusalem, sir, in front of me is your admission and dismissal papers from the National Western Institute of this is a treatment hospital, sir, for mental illness. Please explain yourself.
Yes, well, I figured I'd disclose all my past indiscrepancies just in front of the court. I don't want any problems here. And God is speaking to me again. He's sending me a Facebook message.
Jesus Christ, would you just stop that? And I say that to offend God, so he will not come through you anymore. All right. All right. Here's what's going to happen from here on out, because I need to wrap up this courtroom, because I ate a big breakfast, and I feel something moving in my intestinal tract. So, Miss Janice Mercury, counter lawsuit, $3 million. Please explain the 0.5 discrepancy.
Well, again, we're getting a bad rap here. And I feel that, the $3 million is just a proper compensation to repair our image.
All right, to repair image. And Mr. Jerusalem, you have 15 seconds. And if you talk about God, sir, I'm going to cut your water short.
Your Honor, I invested a lot of money into this fallout shelter. I got to make good use of it, and God has spoken to me. He has said that if I don't get into that fallout shelter, Your Honor, just let me finish.
And you are. Thank you. Ms. Mercury, you have 15 seconds, ma'am, to plead your case for one final time.
I think it's very clear here that we're just working for the benefit of the people. We would want to help him if we could.
All right. Well, thank you for your congeniality in this courtroom and your professionalism. Here's how I'm going to rule in this case, in the case between Jerusalem versus the National Weather Service. Mr. Jerusalem, sir, I'm going to have you escorted from the courtroom and taken to the Larned State Hospital in Larned, Kansas for a sentence of 3 years to get your brain reconnected. And I'm going to award the extra $0.5 million to the National Weather Service to create a more positive campaign for the remainder of the Weather Service's life. And that is my ruling.
Thank you, Judge.
Hey, bachelors, bachelorettes, and everyone in between. Want to take a shot at love? Send the questions you would want to ask on a date to the Win Matchmakers during the break and see if you can help make the perfect match. Next on Mile High Sports Radio.